Today in the crypto space, we see the market continuing to the downside. Bitcoin down approximately 3%, Ethereum down approximately 4%, and the rest of the crypto space, the altcoins, for the most part, coming down to much lower levels. We have Cardano, BNB, ICP, and many others falling to lower levels. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about one project, one heavyweight altcoin, the leader of all the altcoins, Ethereum. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins. Are looking for opportunity, whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with this market. We're taking a bit of a hit, guys. In the last little while, I was very adamant of protecting the gains. It's very important to be able to identify when to be risk on and when to be risk off, and when to decide to take those profits and to protect the gains, right? There's various strategies, obviously, on how to achieve that. And a good trader, has a couple of those strategies, on their tool belt, up their sleeve, ready to go, ready to deploy. And of course, one of the most important ones is to just slowly take profits and scale out of your positions. Now, we could see a bit of a pop to the upside on the Bitcoin price, bringing the altcoins in the market up a little bit, maybe for a dead cat bounce, maybe for a confirmation high, lower high, and giving us a second chance to potentially take a bit of profit. But as we speak, as things are looking at the current moment, I'm not too crazy about what I see, and I'll let you know why. Look at the market cap is falling. It is down to about 3.3. Okay, it's down approximately 5%. It doesn't look the greatest, but we do have to understand is that we, ran out pretty hard, guys. We broke above the 3 trillion and, right above it. And a pullback is absolutely normal and acceptable. The thing is how did you react based on this, right? Did you react? Did you stay one step ahead of the market, guys? And that's basically what we do here on the channel, is we stay one step ahead. And if you appreciate all of that, join the live stream. I think the live stream is a great opportunity for you to make those requests, talk about different projects. If you have any projects you want to look at, basically look at some setups, feel free to join and request those setups, and we'll definitely come up with some sort of strategy. But ultimately, when you see the market rolling over a little bit, you have to be defensive. And this is the thing. Look at the trading volume. As we were coming down, we see the overall trading volume definitely rise, giving us that indication that the market is in consensus with this dip. Now, we made a higher high on the trading volume and giving us that signal. Now, do we continue coming down? We do see the volume coming down, which means that as the price is falling, the volume is coming down, less and less market participation on this dip. This is why maybe we get a bit of a bottom here on the short term, and maybe go up for another high and see what kind of high we make. It could be a double top. It could even be a higher high, guys, for all I know. But ultimately, I am seeing that the market is still looking a bit weak. So I'm not going to be reacting without confirmations, without some conviction. And what's very important to note is that the market is going to react very quickly and swiftly once it reaches its bottom. And those V recoveries, especially in bull runs, are very often. So let's be prepared for that also. If you look at Bitcoin, still coming down. As we scrape to the top 100 real quick, just to get an overall idea of what's happening here, we're still making lower lows and lower highs on a lot of these projects, right? XLM taking a bit of a hit here after a nice run to the upside. And this is something to note, because a lot of projects have run up significantly, but at the end of the day have been retracing. Now, I'll be honest, there are some projects that are not retracing, guys. They don't have no chill whatsoever and are continuing, to move. Like even Celestia is looking super strong. going sideways in bearish condition, neutralizing all the negativity. Bullish. Filecoin's looking pretty good too, not too bad. Although it is down in percentage-wise, structurally speaking, it's very sound. It's looking pretty good, right? We have Phantom, guys. Phantom's killing it, doing great. Injective, killing it. I was so bullish on Injective. Nice bull flag, continuation to the upside. These two projects right here are doing great. Say is also doing amazing. A lot of good projects are still holding up. GRT is looking pretty decent. Thorchain got a bit of a pullback. What else do we got here? A few others, like even Sandbox that ran up so hard is still down 17% for today. So we got to understand those projects that run really hard are going to get their pullbacks, and you're going to get the opportunity. Even Arweave, I'm looking at getting back in. I closed my margin positions. I'm going to get back in on Arweave, guys. As soon as we get this confirmation that we're done this dip on the lower time frames, meaning the 1 hour and the 4 hour, I'm going to redeploy my margin and get right back in on it, because ultimately I'm waiting for a bigger move on Arweave and many others, including Beam, and so many, guys, so many. Of course, we're going to be talking about all this strategy in up and coming videos. Okay, so make sure that you subscribe and click that bell so you don't miss out on any of the future ones that I release. All right, guys, let's jump right into charts. I know you're here to talk about price action, so let's begin. Let's take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin. Ultimately, Bitcoin, unfortunately, it did exactly what I thought it was going to do, which is, take a dip. And, that red arrow has been there for a bit. And now I'm like, it's falling. Okay, so now we have to get offensive. I'm not saying that we're going to get offensive or, act upon the offensive strategy yet, but now is the time to start focusing on your offensive strategy and building the offensive thesis. What I mean is bullish thesis. Where are we going to get this bottom? At this level, for about a week, I was building my bearish thesis, and I made it very clear. Now, all of a sudden, I have no choice but to pivot. I have no choice but to pivot and to start, planning for the bounce and the support zone. So that's the agenda in the next little while. But in the meantime, I'm keeping it cool. I understand that Bitcoin is going to continue to fall if it continues showing this type of momentum. Okay, so it broke the wedge to the downside. It broke trend to the downside. And you can see that these oscillators, of course, custom oscillators, guys, if you want to know more about them, I do have a link in the description below. So feel free to check that out. If you see what's going on here, I definitely see a continuation down. The momentum is still trending downwards. What keeps me interested here in the short term is that we could see the volatility line obviously come down a little bit more. And that would obviously drag the price a little bit further. And then eventually we might see a bullish response. The orange line getting overbought again will cause the price to maybe get a response, maybe another back test. In that case, I'm expecting the purple line, the momentum line, to continue falling and taking its time. What I would like to do is continue seeing the volatility go up and down, as it usually does, and then long when they're both in oversold conditions. Start building my positions here. Okay, and redeploying my margin positions at these levels. That means that I don't run the risk of seeing the momentum fall to oversold conditions because it's already oversold. And in addition to that, I want to see the volatility ready to roll back to the upside and give me that nice impulsive move that I'm anticipating that we continue eventually. Now, where does that lead for price action? Guys, it could be that we hit about 87,000. That's what I'm looking for as my initial target. Once we get there, you could buy the dip, and if we get there, obviously, nobody knows where it's going to go. I don't have a crystal ball that, to tell us exactly where we're going to go, but if we do end up going there, I want to see where the momentum's at. If the momentum is oversold, as I mentioned, I am ready to deploy. If it's in the chop zone and going sideways here, I'm still iffy. We could get support in the chop zone, guys, like we've done in the past. We have done in the past get support in the chop zone on the momentum and get bounces. And in a bull run, it is very possible that that's going to be the case, that we don't even get oversold right now because the sentiment is super bullish. So what do we do, guys? First of all, let us get there first. Obviously, we'll take it day by day. But it's very possible that I will be deploying some capital into this on spot. No margin, just on spot. Because obviously margin brings in a level of risk, and I am still at this level at the, let me kind of remove some of this artwork, at the chop zone area at about 50%. I run the risk that the momentum eventually will fall, and I'm not willing to take that with leverage, any amount of leverage. I will be willing to take that risk on spot, because on spot all I have to do is hold, no big deal. But on leverage, I'm going to increase my loss that way, and I want to see oversold conditions at least on the 4 hour. At minimum on the 4 hour, we're almost there on Bitcoin. At least on the 1 hour, we're pretty much, let's see this populate, we're pretty much there hanging out with bullish divergence at the current moment. You know, lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the momentum, suggesting class A bullish divergence. So this is something that we have to understand, is that although we are getting divergences on lower time frames, bullish divergences for that matter, price action is king. Lower lows and lower highs doesn't give me the indication that the price is willing to, you know, start reverting upwards. I would like to see a change of character, a higher high or a higher low. A change of character is very important when you're analyzing market structure. So there is no market structure suggesting a shift or a pivot to the upside. So we're going to have to wait. Ultimately, this also looks quite bearish. EMAs looking for that cross, red histogram bars, although there is bullish divergence in the momentum here. I'm still hesitant. I want to see a higher high or a higher low, and then we start looking for a pivot point structure, even if it's on the 1 hour, even if it's on the 15, even if it's on the 1 minute. You want to see pivot point structures. You want to see the change of character in the price action before you make a move. And it doesn't mean that you can't deploy any capital with the signs of bullish divergence, but make them small positions, guys, and build those positions as you build the confluence in the chart. Okay, so let's go back to the 4 hour. As you can see, oversold, no signs of bullish divergence here either. We're pushing down. EMAs are facing down. Everything, the expansion, the blue expansion, very bearish on the 4 hour. And these are things that I identified really early, guys, and I was glad that I was able to give you those signals to take profit, because right now you should have a decent amount of cash on the side ready to deploy. And the daily, again, the daily is still looking okay, but with this EMA cross and this red histogram bar, it doesn't have to be a massive dip, but even a little one where we come down, induce a little bit of pain, be able to buy the dips and start running back up. Guys, I want to take full advantage of that. Look at this little dip. All right, guys. Of course, today's video, I want to focus a little bit more on ETH, because ETH as a leading indicator for the altcoin market is something that we should pay attention to. Now, I know a lot of people are not going to be happy with the title I just gave Ethereum. The problem is that history has shown that Ethereum is the heavyweight of the altcoin market, is the leading indicator, and as of now, we could expect it to continue holding that title. Ultimately, we want to see Ethereum break the previous high, which is more or less right around $5,000. Okay, a little bit lower, 4,900 more or less. We want to see eventually Ethereum get into price discovery, and it's got a bit of work to do. It's got these tops, it's got this area to deal with, and this is why I have those red arrows there. However, guys, we cannot negate the fact that every time Ethereum shows strength, the altcoins fly. No other project has that amount of strength at the current moment, not even Solana. Solana is very strong. I'm bullish on Solana. It's one of my champions. I'm heavily deployed within the Solana ecosystem, to the point that I'm going to make this even go further. I sold all my Ethereum and I bought Phantom. Okay, so I'm giving Ethereum a lot of credit here, but I don't have exposure. So you have to understand that I respect Ethereum's position in this market so much that I still have to rely on it as a leading indicator. If it starts to run, guys, and it starts to break out of this, resistance zone, we are going to see the altcoin market fly. And because Ethereum has the largest market cap out there in the altcoin market, it has the strength to drop the Bitcoin dominance, where other projects, even Solana, doesn't even have as much. So we do have to understand that even if Ethereum runs, and of course, ideally, and we have been seeing this, Solana tag team alongside Ethereum, both Solana and Ethereum showing strength, guys, Bitcoin dominance doesn't have a chance, and neither does Bitcoin, to be honest, because really the season right now is to start seeing altcoins run for that altcoin season, if you get what I mean. So let's get back into lower time frames. We can see that Ethereum's battling it out. Ethereum, has been frowned upon in the last little while because tech-wise, I get it. It's not the shiniest project. It's not the best, most lucrative project at the current moment. There are issues. However, guys, we have to understand that the trend is a friend. And if we see the trend of Ethereum showing strength, we have to understand that that's going to be vital for the altcoin market, and we need to see this continue to the upside. But then again, this volume is not enough. I don't see it doing anything really spectacular here. In fact, if you look at the Ethereum price, excluding the wicks, guys, it's important that you exclude the wicks when you look for divergences, okay? You can see that these wicks are excluded and a slightly higher high, that's fine, but it's a clear lower high on the momentum, giving us a class A bearish divergence. Okay, not a good thing. The green expansion, guys, these expansions have been killing it. As you can see, these expansions right here, we got a nice green move to the upside, and it's tapering off. Now, does that mean all of a sudden we're going to get a red expansion all of a sudden? Or are we going to just cool off a little bit, go neutral, which is ideal, very similar to what happened here. Let's go neutral, and then all of a sudden get a nice green expansion to the upside where we go for another bullish impulsive move. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean on the daily we're not going to get oversold? Or does that mean on the daily that maybe we come back and respect this overall trend and maybe come to this level and get back up for another overbought state? Very possible. Do we even have to get into a higher high here based on the momentum? No, we don't. In fact, we could actually come up, make a lower high, continue the divergence, and if you look at what the price action could do, in fact, the price could actually make a higher high. And making a higher high on the price action and still a lower high on the momentum will still give us divergence, but who cares? We made a higher high on the price action on Ethereum. And that starts to look bullish, breaking out of the resistance that's possible. And then as we reach the resistance zone, maybe take a short-term dip and follow what Bitcoin is currently doing. The problem is that if Bitcoin continues showing this type of weakness that we have been seeing in the last couple of days, guys, not even Ethereum can withhold or withstand that negativity. To be honest, I know there's some bullish projects that I'm bullish on. Sui right now, Phantom is killing it, and so many others. Ultimately, if Bitcoin crashes and comes down further and continues showing weakness, the fear will cause people to exit their risk-on assets, starting with the larger caps, lower caps, and the micro caps for sure will take a bigger beating. So what I'm saying here is we got to wait for what Bitcoin does. And based on what Bitcoin does, we can start analyzing what Ethereum could be doing as well and where it's going to be holding support. You got to admit, structurally speaking, not percentage-wise, because Ethereum's taken a bigger hit than Bitcoin in the last little bit as far as percentage. But we got to admit, structurally speaking, Ethereum looks better than Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is falling significantly, whereas ETH is still within its higher high, higher low scenario, and it is looking for a continuation up. And big picture, it hasn't even broken. It's not even price discovery, guys. It didn't even break out of the local top on the daily. Okay, so it's still early. The chart is still immature. Let's put it that way. Where Bitcoin's chart is so mature that it's definitely at a zone where we don't even have price action looking left to judge where it's going to go next. Okay, so this is why I want to come to you guys with this Ethereum, analysis, because ultimately, the recovery when this dip is over could be very, very aggressive, okay? And Ethereum could be that indicator for that aggressiveness. If Ethereum keeps on neutralizing the negativity that Bitcoin shows and it just goes sideways, although it is down a little bit, 3% here and there, but as long as it goes sideways, neutralizing the negativity that Bitcoin has been giving the market, guys, that's a sign of strength for the altcoins. And I'm expecting the Bitcoin dominance to still be in our favor. Why? Because Bitcoin is falling while alts are going sideways. Bitcoin dominance falls. Okay, if you know the relationship about how Bitcoin dominance works and all of that, you will understand what I'm saying. If not, join me live tonight. We can definitely do a review. Join the Discord. I got some learning material for you guys there. If you want to know more about the Bitcoin dominance and that relationship, there's a lot of good info, so feel free to join. Guys, if I've offered you any value, do the channel a massive favor. Slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the live stream tonight at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.